Hello everybody and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. I said I'd be back, didn't I? I know I'm not great at keeping my word, but I'm back and I'm here with another review, a great review of the Sixth Doctor set that came out very recently. And, well, what do I say about this? It's a bit of a difficult situation because this set is supposed to be based on the Ultimate Adventure. Now, because of that, Colin Baker looks like he's had another explosion in a paint factory accident. But the TARDIS itself is not, because it looks nothing like the TARDIS. I'm going to show it on screen, just so you've got an idea of what this absolute monstrosity looks like. But this looks like his generic TARDIS. Now, I admit it's a great way of getting a new Colin variant in it, and also getting his TARDIS in it, because it means that they're not using as many colours as they originally were, and you also get Colin's TARDIS, which we've been asking for quite a while, to be honest, so I'm not going to complain, but marking the set as the Ultimate Adventure set is probably not a good way to categorise this set, because it is not. It is just the figure. The box is not from the Ultimate Adventure, sorry, and, well, like I say, Colin just looks like he's been in a paint factory explosion, so, but it is the costume that he wore in that stage play. So if we take a closer look at this, we'll get all into the nitty-gritty and the details. So there we are, we have both of them separated from their pose, I suppose you could call it, and we'll take a look at the figure first, the Colin Baker figure, and I can mark myself on that, and then we'll go on to Colin Baker's TARDIS, and I will make some remarks about that as well and tell you my thoughts right at the end. And also next, I will be doing the Necros Daleks, because they finally arrived this morning. Yes, my friend Anthony pulled through and he said, there you go, there they are, and the postman delivered them this morning. Absolutely brilliant. So, let's get into this one before I start going off on myself, and I will, straight after the Necros set, be reviewing the Bradley TARDIS, because it is well overdue. So, the Sixth Doctor, I remarked that he looked like he'd been in a paint factory explosion, and it is quite honestly a sentiment that is probably followed by a lot of Doctor Who fans, because he does look like that a lot of the time. It's a very nice variant and a very nice costume for Colin to wear, but it's not exactly my favourite. I'm not a fan of this sort of deep purple colour that's going on, if I'm quite honest. It's not really a variant I would have ever expected or ever asked for, but we have it, and it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. It still looks like a Technicolor problem, but it doesn't look too bad. And you can obviously see they've gone into some quite neat and tidy details as well. The pants especially, got all these different lines going down the pants, these pinstripes, which looks absolutely fantastic. It gives this sort of pyjamas effect to it, really, if you ask me. And then you've got the sort of the stripes on there. You've got the chain for his broken watch, if anything, because it broke when Perry stepped on it. So I'm not sure if that's a working watch or working prop in this case for the stage play, if he replaced it. Because I remember her saying, I'll get you a new one, and he remarks, on Necros. So, I'm not particularly sure if the hair is accurate. I mean, I know this is the typical Colin Baker look, but I was sure by this point he had longer hair. So making an entirely head mould for Colin Baker's figure would have been nicer, to be honest, to recapture that look that he had for that stage play, and I admit for some of the later figure releases, such as the Terror of the Vervoids version, because he does have quite long hair in that. I believe so anyway. I think it's Terror of the Vervoids. I can't remember. I'm not good with my Colin Baker episodes to do excuse me. But, I mean, like I say, it's quite a nice variant. It's got a lot of crisp sort of paintwork and lots of, I mean, some nice colours. I love this sort of pink and blue together. This sort of, it's not quite a hot pink, it's quite a light pink, but then you've got this very nice baby blue going down the back and there as well. And it's lining some of the parts of the costume as well. It's on his lapels there, it's on his cuffs. You've got slight lines going down here as well. It really does look like a nice version, to be honest. And I'm not really sure what more I could possibly say on the costume. Articulation is standard as always. You know, you've got your head going backwards and forwards, your knee joints, your elbows going out and things like that. It's all standard and things like that. I'm not going to go too much detail into that because it's quite useless when all of your figures have the same articulation. When they change that, I might go into it a bit more, which reminds me I need to do the regeneration set because it's got quite a bit of extra articulation on the 14th Doctor. But yes, and I think I owe it to David over here in this photo as well, but yes, I'm not going to go too much into the articulation. Standard stuff, you know, stands on two legs and everything. That's pretty much Colin. And just remarking the head for a second, it doesn't look painted. One of my friends remarked on this the other day, and they said it doesn't look painted either. Have they cast it in this colour? I can't tell, because usually they paint the heads, but I can't tell if that's paint or plastic. Now, I'm sure Matthew DeFollow would probably be able to remark on such, whatever we would call this, but I'm not sure I can, because I'm not an expert with paint, or indeed anything at all, apart from railway history and things like that. But, yeah, it's a nice variant to have. It's a nice Sixth Doctor, and to be honest, it does take pride over my shelf at the moment, because, well, mostly the TARDIS. But it is a variant I do like, and it does look nice with the Necros Dalek and the Cyberman as well, or the Cyber Leader, as I've got up there at the minute with Colin. So, yeah, it's not too bad, to be honest. I'm going to hold my hand up right there and say, you know, done a pretty good job, you know. And admittedly, I do like this sort of deep blue cravat, because it does mix in well with that baby blue on the back. Just remarking about the paintwork there for a second, and you can see he's got the question marks on his collars, standard Colin Baker really, if you ask me, and then he's got some nice leather looking shoes instead of the spats he wore, which quite often looked odd. So if we move on from Colin, because I've already had enough of a conversation about him, why don't we move on to the TARDIS for quite a few seconds, or quite a few minutes, if I might add, and I'll put Colin Baker there, and there we go. So the TARDIS is basically a standard TARDIS that we've seen so many times, with the low bases here now. That this has become a standard one instead of the high bases of the old one, as you can see on my Tom Baker one there. And it's got the standard roof as well. But in any case, the TARDIS does look very nice. The doors open as standard and close them as normal, like that. And it's got this very nice sort of rocky, it's like chalk almost, you know, weathering to it. It is a very nice weather that it's got, and the windows are absolutely filthy. When I'm not knocking Colin over, apparently. But the windows are absolutely filthy. Look at that. What is going on there? I need to have a rewatch of some Colin episodes to see if that's accurate. But in any case, it's a very nice TARDIS. It's very accurate to Colin's appearance with it. It's very accurate to its appearance on television, rather. And all round, it's just generally a nice TARDIS, to be honest. And like I say, it's the standard TARDIS. We've seen this hundreds of times with the original First Doctor TARDIS, with the Seventh Doctor TARDIS, with the Fifth Doctor TARDIS. We've seen this before. And all they've done is repaint it and give it a new sort of look to it, really. But it is a nice addition to have. So I do applaud their efforts to make this. As I said, next time I'll be doing Necros Daleks, so there's not much to talk about these. There probably won't be much to talk about the Daleks either, but they are both very nice sets, so if you can find this, go and grab it. I don't recommend going onto eBay and trying to get it there, but if you can find it, grab it as soon as you can. If you can't, well, I'm sorry, but what else to suggest other than eBay, I don't know, but I'm not going to suggest eBay because that's a fool's game. So, with the video more or less coming to an end, I shall see you next time with the Necros Daleks. Remember, Necros. So, I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.